rookie design contest playthroughs. Beeker Mountain, playing from the black tees, gonna play pin 2. And fire this one up. Talk about it. Alright, first hole. First thing I notice is the wide use of the heavy rough texture. There's no light rough, so every place is fairway or heavy rough, so gotta find the fairway. Alright, first hole, got a rustic theme, detached green, bunkers guarding the entire front. Alright, cool idea with the creek here. I think I like the idea of the rocks. I think they need to be a little smaller. I like the grasses in there, looks pretty cool. Nice view from the tee. Look, fairway is amply sized. Bunker's okay. We got some squiggles here. Maybe the spline points are a little too far apart. And that's how we got this straight line here, but then when you get close, you get the squiggles. Even if you want the fairway to run straight, you still need many spline points to avoid that. And fairway is amply wide. Some camber to it. This shot is long. And it's long. I don't have a club for this. The detached green guard. Green is really shallow for this shot. The only option I have is very fast. I wouldn't have made it anyway. It's almost an impossible shot. Off to a bad start already. Alright, long part 3, downhill. Long part 3, downhill. At least here I have a run up. Bunker's okay. Just be careful with the spline here and the sculpting. That's okay. Just this spline kind of does this bow here right in the spot. A little bow in that. I'm gonna fix that. And this transition could be better. This could run more like this. Or this come around to here. Sort of this squiggle. Get rid of that. Get rid of this too. Right here. This looks good over here. I like the way this cuts in. Maybe these rocks can be sunken just a little bit, but this here, just blocking the view of the green complex. This is okay. I think maybe this should be a little deeper. Maybe vary the plants that are in here. So you just use cattails. Front pin. It's got a run-up spot, although I'm gonna go way over. Gone over. Well, that didn't turn at all like I expected. I just putted it off, almost off the green. Hmm. All right. All right. Not a lot of interest going on here on this hole. Between the tee and the fairway itself. Um, Once you get to the fairway, it's better. I have these, but yeah. Fairways. This bunker looks like it's flat. This doesn't look sculpted at all. Doesn't look good. Narrowish fairway, way up the hill here. Ugh, heavy rough. This bunker's okay. It's not bad. It's just sort of uninspiring. Same thing with this one. It's kind of just there. It's not terrible. There's just like a little ridge there in that green. And this didn't really come into play considering where I hit it. Alright. I do not like this pond idea. It's like a puddle that forms when it rains a lot, but then it's outlined with these huge rocks that are just kind of there. They don't. None of this seems to fit the landscape. I don't know. It was just like we tried something different. I don't think it works here. I like the grass on the left though. Alright, hook this. Oh boy, oh boy. It's not bad from there. Can't complain. Oh, it didn't turn. Ooh, another bogey. And I'm playing awful. Yeah, considering the landscape here, that pond just doesn't fit. Like, there's not a pond like that anywhere else, but you're on the side of a mountain. That water's gotta come from somewhere. Why would it pool there and not elsewhere? This bunker looks like it's just there. I don't think this is sculpted at all. Um, I think the area where the rocks fit onto the ground needs to be bare terrain rather than the heavy rough texture. I think that looks unnatural that it's manicured so close. Down here is I think what it should look like around that rock. I don't know about these cattails. Um, oh, ooh, lucky. Lucky that I found the fairway there. Alright, second shot. Alright, an interesting green here with a two-tiered green. Pin's an interesting spot. I don't think I can reach this, but I'm gonna go for it. Oh, what a... Wasn't even close. Okay. Trees seem to be planted and grow in a straight line, which is sort of striking. Really tight. The ball better not hit one of these. Wind is helping bring back to the left. Oh, need a bounce. Didn't get it. Bunker also looks... That's okay. It's not inspiring though. I don't look at that bunker and go, ooh, that's a great looking bunker. It's just really flat and sort of boring. Like it looks like this bunker looks like it's sculpted a little bit. But we didn't want to go. And from here it doesn't look sculpted, but from here it does a little bit. I don't want to say it's not, but could be better. Do not miss this green left. Under any circumstance. You do not want to have to chip from up there. Run forever. Alright, I don't think I can reach this bunker. Oh, it's not gonna matter. Oh, come on. Another really uphill hole. Every hole is like uphill, seemingly. This fairway is kind of narrow. It's not too bad. This bunker just looks flat. Almost like we just plopped a really big bunker down. Sightline here could be better. We could lower the terrain here so that you can see it goes down and the green looks like it's up. I know we didn't want to elevate every green. That's just an idea. That putt was almost table flat. Except for that one green, they've all been really conservative. uphill, another massively uphill hole. Again, this bunker just looks flat. Fairways have been of ample size. Haven't. Another hole I cannot reach. Bunker's better. It's a little big, but it's better. Two over the turn. One over. Oh, one over. Alright, way downhill here. 600 yards down the hill. Still can't reach this. I don't really have any comments on playability. Nothing really stands out, but nothing's really poor either. It's pretty much, do I want to take on the risk or not? And I almost have to, because every hole is so damn long. Again, this bunker is flat. Draw this a little bit. There's a lot going on here with this, with that slope here. Alright. I don't necessarily mind that it runs down, for the reason being that I've got a 100-yard shot in. One of the things that would happen if this was a real green is this spot here. So in this spot, right in here. Okay, see how this comes down this way, this comes down this way, these come down this way, this comes down this way. That means this is the low point on the green. You'd get a puddle. If this was real life, it would be a puddle right here. Little elongated oval-shaped puddle. Maybe it would be here. Something like that. Clearly doesn't affect video game golf, but just something to look out for. You can see we push the water in to get close as possible. I don't mind the look. What do you think? I like the shape of this green. It's really narrow, it's long, so it plays differently. I think it would be nice if the fairway ran up to it, though. I don't see why it wouldn't. I think if I was a greenskeeper, I don't see why this wouldn't run up to the green. Seems like it would naturally do that. Alright, let's not hit this in the water. Oh. Almost did it anyway. You mean like an impossible chip. Too bad, considering that slope. Yeah, there's a little bit too much slope here where this pin is. The pin should actually be where my ball is. More or less. Maybe the pin could be here. But somewhere flatter. This is too steep of a hill to put the pin on. Ugh. Missed putt. Short hole. There's a hole in my local course that's exactly this. 100 yards straight up the hill. I feel like I'm playing that. The 6th at Silver Lake on Staten Island. Green on that hole is shallow and wide. I don't mind the green being that small for this hole. Just the only thing is, because the green is so small, it doesn't really play differently. Oh, that took off on me. Wow. What did it hit? A nickel or something? In the green? Ooh. Alright. Now I can hit over this. Oh no. My swing is so garbage. At least these bunkers are tilted. Just trying to hit it somewhere close. This bunker's on the side of the green. That doesn't really serve a purpose. It's just kind of there. That bunker. Up again. Some excess slope. I want it to be 10 yards back. Yes. Alright, downhill hole. Alright. So to me, it looks like there was a possibility of me hitting this tree. And I better not hit this tree. So, it's a nice creek behind. Just kind of check it out. So that looks pretty good. I like that. Can I see it from anywhere? You do all this work, and it's a shame you don't really get to appreciate it. Now I get to hit over it, but I still don't see it. Oh, I don't like this. This is like a cabbage field. Wow, it's really no room before I end up in like the grass. Again, I'm going to hit this tree. Where? Alright, so where do I hit it to avoid hitting this tree? Like, I wanted to avoid hitting this tree. Where do I hit? Like, I feel cheated. Why am I hitting a pitch? Sound like Joe Biden. Come on. Come on. Alright. Yeah, his transition's not good. It just looks... I don't know. I made a birdie. Back to even. Down the hill. Let me pan back here. Rough around the bunker looks okay. I mean, it just really isn't very interesting. It's kind of straight fairway right into the green. It's not really wrong. It's okay enough. Just would like more interest on it. Seems kind of bland. Alright. 222 yards down the hill, down 20 yards. And green, what is going on? Let's see, alright, so I've got, this green is tiny for this, and I got this huge boulder. I missed it. No way to run that up. Should be a way to run that up. Aww. Yeah, that hole, you're really taking away the options on that hole. The options I have are either hit it long or hit it into the bunker, I think. I probably could have carried that bunker, but I wasn't sure. Alright. Can't reach that. I'm in this wind. I have no option. So the only option I have is to all the way back here. 100 yards back. What are these rocks doing here? They don't look like they belong there. Who put them there? Why were they put there? I have this blind second shot. Just so that I can have 150 in. I don't like this hole. almost. One over. Alright, so my impressions are a couple of things. One, for the most part, because we abandoned light rough at all, um, light rough in its entirety, um, transitions from fairway um, to heavy rough were mostly neat. There was a couple of spots where spline points were too far apart. There were a couple of spots where the spline wasn't perfectly smooth. Um, but otherwise, it was fairly neat. Green sizes were mostly appropriate, with the exception of 17. Um, I did not like the couple of detached greens. Had some long approaches to some detached greens. And there was one hole where the green was detached just for the sake of it being detached. There really didn't seem to be a reason why it would be. So it just kind of distracts from the overall realism. Course is really straightforward. The risk reward options presented in almost all cases is just the farther you hit down, the narrower the fairway becomes. There are a couple of instances where a hazard actually dictates the play a little bit. There's a couple of holes that are like that. Um, but it's it's the 18 with the laying up 100 yards back off the tee and then having to hit two wood to be 150 out. Just I don't didn't like the design of that hole. Bunkers were really flat. Um, we need to take the backs of the bunkers, um, raise them up a little bit, then flatten the pan out, and then raise the back of the bunkers a little bit more. This way, the pan is tilted toward um, the tee or the player a little bit, but the back of the bunker is also raised. It has one edge higher than the other, um, just to give it a little bit more of a dramatic look and make it stand out. It'll help frame the holes a bit. As far as the way the course looks, it's really green. It's green heavy rough, green fairway, green greens, green plants, green trees, um, green everywhere. Um, the 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 river um, that is bordered by rocks on both banks is interesting. I like that idea. Um, the creek or the river that ran with the waterfall, when you got a glimpse of it, it looked good. It's just when you were playing the course, uh, you didn't really get a good view of it. So it feels like a missed opportunity. Um, I think the advice I have on that is build those features first and then route the holes around them. Make it look like the waterfall and the creek and the river were there, and then take advantage of that. Build a hole specifically um, around the winding creek or the river or what have you. It looks like 18 we did that. Except I didn't like the idea of the split fairway and the forced layup and all of that. That just I didn't like that design, but um, that was a good idea at least. Kind of what we did. Um, and as far as the greens, just to circle back on playability, the greens were pretty conservative in nature. But then there were some places where slope was, pin was in an area that had a lot of slope. Even though the green itself wasn't, wasn't exceptionally bold or anything, but there were some areas with a bit of slope, um, a crown here, and the pin was maybe a little bit too close to it. So just be careful of that. Um, but overall, a solid job. Not bad. So congratulations on that. I'm gonna go ahead and close this stream, and I'll start a new one up.